Hey, this review for PETEREK, P-E-T-E-R-E-K, capitals. He's a head-fi user that was formerly known as Casper TFG. He's more well known when I first came on head-fi a couple of years ago as being a kind of a customizer, modifying HD800s and a lot of the high-end expensive gears people wanted re-terminated into different connections, and he would do that. He would paint, do custom paint jobs, and just a elite modifier. He made a set that was, I could be totally wrong except for the drivers, a DT770 frame with wood cups, a port on the back of it, and then he put XB 1000 70mm drivers inside, which is, it's like the unicorn of bass headphones, because though it's not, according to him, really a big slammer, we both know that if that was ported differently, or if there was adjustments made with the amount of airflow going to the driver, that could be the hardest hitting custom headphones ever made. And it's like the unicorn for bass heads, and I tried desperately to get my hands on it, and the guy that owns it is smart and won't sell it, so I wouldn't either. But that's how I knew PETEREK as Casper TFG. I hadn't known he had switched his name. There's a dog behind me because I'm talking, and when I stop talking in a video, he stops barking. So this is like a game between me and him, and I'm not gonna bow down to him today. I wanted a balance cable because I got the PHA3 and it puts out more power when it's in balance mode. So of course I contact PETEREK, and he sends me a package. And then inside the package is a microfiber bag, and then inside the microfiber bag is the cable. It's been taken out once already because I tested it, because doing this live in the video and having a problem would assure another video needing to be done. So this comes out. Put this down. So on a balanced cable, you've got the channels being separated, and you've got the left and the right, and then right here you've got PETEREK's logo, and it's basically cinching, controlling the braid, the end of the braid right here when it's 4 right here, and giving just enough gap for this to be used on a PHA3, and nothing extra. So it's perfect in that region. As you move down, forgive me as I've never done a cable review, never thought I'd do one. I just do this because the guy's outstanding at what he does. Nicely braided all the way down. It's got that need to want to wind back up, which is what I love about custom cables, because I like to put them back in their snake coil. It's got what is basically a drop weight as far as I'm concerned. Everything above this region is held down by an extra few grams, which pulls down on and makes the IEM seat better. So if I drop this like this drops, and it's a weight basically. It keeps it. This will cinch up if I want, so that can go all the way down and you can't even see it. It just sits on the top of that. I actually love this design. When I first got it, I thought, is this some kind of ferrite collar or something? And I don't believe it is. He could tell me maybe that I'm wrong, but I believe what this does is just what it looks like it does. So everything beyond here will coil, but everything above here will not, because it's pulling down now. If I got these on my ears as a hook, then everything that's around the side of my head down to the front of my neck will not be tangled up and crossing each other, because it's got a little bit of extra weight. As I go down, I have markers. I have an L that's facing me, and an R which is facing me. These actually have their own markings on the IEM, the EX1000s, but it's a nice touch. I've had several made by him, but this was by far the best, and in fact it's almost like he 3D imaged my head, because the EX1000s are a very difficult set to get a good fit, and these fit awesome right now, which is perfect because they're balanced now. So I really needed this to kind of go well, and it went beyond my expectations. So the review that I said I was going to do was This is much easier to do now because I'm so thoroughly pleased. I've never not been pleased, but I'm very pleased and want to do a review of a cable, and that's mind-blowing to people that have been following me for a while. I'm not somebody that's ever said cables make a huge difference. I said that I buy them because I like to have something unique and customized and not stock. That's just basically the way that I am. Let me get this back into a manageable position. Now the thing about the custom cables is you can put these in a way that is much easier to deal with than most stock cables. Some stock cables are pretty impressive, but I change them anyway just because I love doing this. Now this is the PHA3. There's, get this out of the way. I've got Led Zeppelin right now, and I'm going to turn this on. It's going to ask me, and I'm going to give it permission. Neutron only, Hi-Fi, Onkyo no, UAPP no. I do not like those apps. So I've got Physical Graffiti, and then I've got the PHA3, and when I put it in balance mode, it's going to detect it, and you're going to hear some clicking sounds. You should anyway. And now we're in balance mode with the PHA3 and the EX1000s. I've not heard a sonic experience in personal audio that rivals this. Not anything. If you check my Mojo review, I did a visual demonstration. This is the great thing about reviews, is because somebody can't say, oh, you're, no. Go check the review. 5 stars, finest piece of kit I'd ever heard up to that point. I did a visual demonstration using paper like I did with bass, but trying to display stage and presentation and depth retrieval. And if you look at that video, which is 5 stars and is an outstanding item, I kind of pointed out how I thought the IDSD had a wider, the micro, wider stage, but not quite as deep. Didn't pull back the details to me quite as much as the Mojo did, which seemed to have an amazing layer of depth of retrieval of the items. It was just stunning. It was a new level of audio joy, the Mojo was. Moved away from that for several reasons, one including the volume control. Just I never could get used to that because I listened at very loud volumes. Get the PHA3, listen to it in regular terminated mode, 3.5 was good. It wasn't a step down from the Mojo, but it wasn't a step up. I go to balance mode, and suddenly I've just blown a set that has a huge stage anyway. It's got a port here. It's got another port right here. It's an opened IEM. It's got a very big stage. It's known to be. What it's not known to have is good bass. What it is known to have is a very large stage. And put this into balance mode, and it just blows out. And I can hear Led Zeppelin now in a way that I've not heard since I've listened to music in a way that head-fi people usually do, which is with equipment that you might be familiar with, which is everything that's above an iPod or a rock boxed iPod. I'm listening to John Paul Jones here, and Jimmy Page here, and Robert Plant and John Bonham around here. The vocalist and the drummer would be on stage in the middle, imaged, and one in front of the other, and thus John Bonham and Robert Plant occupy both channels. John Paul Jones occupies one, and Jimmy Page occupies mostly the other, and sometimes they're on the opposite sides, but generally it makes it sound like you've got a stage, and it's not something that I've heard glimmers of it in regular, but in balanced mode I can hear it very clearly. So if anybody wants to get anything out of this besides an awesome cable maker, balanced audio is in fact quite impressive. It is a very, very impressive thing, and it's very similar to having a home speaker system where you got a left and right in front of you, and it would play that way. I don't mean surround sound or any pseudo imaging type of DSP. I just mean standard, your mother's stereo system, left and right speakers is what this sounds like. Very, very high quality, but the way that it separates and only puts certain things on this side and puts certain things on this side and doesn't do it on both makes you get the impression that the bassist of the group or an instrument is over there and another instrument is over there, which makes the stage seem even wider than what it already is. It gives it's an amazing experience, to the point where now the administrator to HeadFi, that sounds like a Russian political position. Administrator to, no, the administrator of HeadFi, which is Kurwang, and he's a genuine audiophile. I want to take this to him, listening to this in this exact setup, and I want him to hear it, and then I want to say to him, where am I lacking? And not in a bad tone, but in an inquisitive university student type of way. What is the, because in the bass, in the sub bass, in the bass to the mid transition, the mids itself, the later mids, the treble, the later treble where roll off would occur, these points of critical analysis by an audiophile or anybody that likes audio, it's hard for me to pick out with this configuration. It is absolutely the finest audio I've ever heard, and I've heard really expensive stuff, so to allay my concerns, I want to hear from somebody that's heard a lot of stuff, and I want to say, where am I lacking, and let me listen to the one that does the lacking point. Okay, this doesn't do that part so much, but this does, and then I listen to it and I can say, oh, okay, I get it now. So I need to, this is kind of the education of me. To this stage, 2.5 years, thanks to PETEREK's cable, I've never heard audio as good as this. A Note 4 as the host, strictly as the host, with on its back a PHA3, running in balance mode, which is a more powerful mode for the unit, puts out more power, and through the drivers, the EX1000s, which are very more audiophile than anything else. They're certainly not bassy IEMs. I've got clarity, I've got a massive stage, and I've got bass that can be EQ'd to whatever I like. So I'd like to know what is the next step. This sounds like audio nirvana to me. People say, good is what you like, and no, I want to like I like what I like. But if somebody says you don't know what you don't have if you've never had it, so if there's something out there that sounds better than this, I've never heard it, but I'd like to know what that is, because I probably want to get that. So this is me educating myself. At this point, out of all the videos I've done, out of all the things I've commented on, I've not heard anything as impressive as this combination right here. And that's using Neutron as an app, and this is putting out files in the original form. They're not being processed up or down in any way. It's stunning. So that is the balanced PETEREK cable. It's a fine piece of work, as are all of his cables. I paid for this. There's my disclaimer. I've got another cable. This is a MMCX, and this was for the Sony Z5s that I asked him to do, and he did. It came out excellent, like everything that he does. I no longer have the Z5s. I sold them, but I will never sell the cable. If I ever do get a MMCX type, I have a cable for it already, and it's right here. So he did that one. Whatever happened to the AE1Ds? Those are 2-pinned. They're right here. I was gonna put the FLC8s on this and do the review of those, but they won't fit because FLC8s have a very unique 2-pin thing, and I don't want to break these. So this is what happened to the 2-pin. This is the 2-pin of the PETEREK. It's the AE1Ds, which I love. One of the more underrated IEMs on HeadFi, AE1D. EX1000 ST. Right termination, left-right markings. Absolutely outstanding. The bass kings, and also they'll do really everything. They're absolutely fantastic set, and they are using the cable that was originally designed for the EX1000, and now that has been replaced by a balanced version. So I've got that one right there. And now, if you're still watching this, the surprise that I got for you, because it was a surprise for myself, is right here, and I'll explain this to you. The first deal that I ever did with PETEREK was initiated by me, and I wanted to do a trade of our Sonics ASG 2.5 for customized HD600s, I think it was, and they were like a brownish. They were just really beautiful. And he was selling them off, and I said, I got some 2.5s, and I'll send them to you. And he's like, okay, that's a trade. And inside the box, just at the last second before I packed it up, I took this set of XP90X, and I threw it in the box, and then I said, I added something for you. He got it. He said, you know what, I like the ASGs, but there's something, I guess I'm not really feeling it. He said, the XP90s, those are little gems, huh? So he really liked them. And then about a week later, he says, so he's repainting the HDs for me, so he got my thing before I got his, and we're totally cool with that. I never said, where's my stuff, or nothing like that. He's a customizer. There's a lot of people that do business with him. So I'm waiting my turn. And then he says, you know what, I'm actually not feeling the sound of the 2.5s. Can I send them back to you? And I said, yeah, go ahead. And then he said, you know what, I'll send the XP90. I said, do you like them? And he said, yeah, I said, keep them, man. I'm not an Indian giver. That was just like a, hey, thanks for doing a deal with me. And I added it. And I said, please keep that. He's like, thanks, man. And, if you ever need something, let me know. And I said, I will. And then I needed a cable for that, and I asked him. He made it. I paid. I need another cable. I asked him. He made it. I paid. I need another cable. I asked. He made it. It didn't work correctly because I couldn't figure out which was the left and right channel, and in the process of trying to figure it out, I might have messed up the cable. I contacted him. I said, I don't think it's going to work. Can I get another cable? And he said, yeah, I'll send it out. I said, how much? Business is business. And he said, I'll send it to you. Don't worry about it. I said, listen, I want to do business with you in future, so I don't need any freebies, because that becomes like the well runs dry. So let's just keep business as business. And he said, listen, I'm the business guy. You paid money for an item. You didn't get what you paid for. I'm gonna send the thing to you. End of the story. And he talked to me like I talk to other people, and I said, okay, I'm cool with that. So everything in here has been paid for. This one was replaced. That wasn't paid for. And in his mind, he was replacing something that he didn't do up to his own level. And in my mind, I'm thinking that might be my fault, but we don't know. Probably me, the guy behind the camera. But anyway, he took care of it in the way that a pro does. So after that event happened, which was like 6 weeks ago, I said, I'm doing a video for this dude. He's just too legit. I get a package today, and this is before I already said I'm doing a video because of this. Is just so badass. Let me get that in the freaking video. That's just nuts. This is the Sony XP90EX I sent to him. He sent me this package, and this is the cable that comes with it. And then you look at the end, it's got this little teeny wires inside. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, what the fuck? And then I open it up, and I got the XP90EXs redone. That's just, if you're a bass head or you are in the bass head thread and you're looking at this, your eyes are just bulging, because look at this, man. There is no other set of XP90EXs in the planet, on the planet, I don't know what's in the planet, that look like this. That's just crazy. That is crazy. Look at that, man. Right angle termination at the end. It's the typical, it's got the cinch, the whole thing. And I got XP90X custom. And I'm geeked. I can't believe it. These are back in my life. He sent them for no reason except because he customized them. I guess it's a challenge. I don't think this is something that he will do. I believe all of these are things that he regularly does. But I don't know that this is something that he would do. This has got to be a pain in the ass. This was just done as a gracias. I sent these to him for basically free. He enjoyed them for a while and then sent them back to me in a better condition than I sent to him. So I recommend this guy to do cables. When you do business with people that make customs, you are part of a customer base, and that you can't be serviced in the same way that you would be if you bought something on Amazon or something else like that. You got to keep that in mind. You want to get your stuff recabled in any fashion, the guy will do it. You want to get your cans painted, the guy will do it. You want to get your cans re-terminated and painted and get some custom wood or covers or padding, or the guy can do it. In this business, personal audio, when you get to the level where you're happy with your gear, which is where I am at with this gear, the next level becomes customization, so that you're kind of personalizing it. And you need someone that can do that, that you know can do it. It's within their skill level, and that you can trust them. I know what he does because as Casper TFG, he was just doing just amazing stuff. This is diddly nothing fit for him. This is just a cable, a solder gun, and a heat gun, and the guy's done. But he does it really well. If you want something that's higher level, you've got a $2,000 set of cans, and you want this kind of pad, that kind of color, and this kind of band, the guy will do it. He's been doing it for years. Everybody that's a mod or an admin, or the people of Headfi know Casper TFG and PETEREK. He's very well known on the site. He's however a member of the trade, so him promoting himself is really not, it's not within the rules. But me doing a video for a person that I've done great business with, and all of the items you see inside here were paid for by me. Even the XP90s, I actually bought these myself, sent it to him for free, and he's just sending me back what I gave him the first time. So there has been no financial incentive for me to be nice to the guy. I just want what I pay for, and I want it without excuses. If it's going to be late, it's going to be late, and I've never had any kind of issue with him. Stuff takes time, and it always does. It's coming from Chicago or Michigan. Chicago's a trip. You know, if your stuff gets routed to Chicago, it's like they take it out and listen to it for 2 days and do burn-in for you, and then they send it. It takes a while. You can trust the guy. The site trusts the guy. I'm not stepping out of line to say this here. He's got a good reputation. He's got an enormous amount of trades. Everybody's satisfied with the guy. I'm not aware of anybody that's had a bad experience with him. I do know every other... okay, I'll back away from that. He's probably the only person I know that involves himself on a personal level that has such a good reputation as he does. And doing a video for him is not actually for him. It's for myself, because it makes me feel better, because it makes the relationship rebalanced. I feel like I got awesomeness, and he just gets money that's not even as much that a lot of cable companies charge. There's got to be win that goes back and forth, and I've been winning for a while with this guy, so he needs to win. I recommend him highly. If you've got gear and you want it modified because you're happy with it and you just want to make it, you know, yours and more beautiful, contact the guy. He's a talent. Again, this video was for the balanced. I showed it to you already, and the surprise was this. And this is some of the basic people are going to be. They're just going to be floored. This is. Look at this, my man. Look at that. Look at yours with that, and then look at mine. Oh, no. That's just not fair. That's not fair. Winning. Hashtag winning. Thank you. PETEREK. I recommend him.